All right. Yes, we're going to talk about the Ocala real estate market. We're going to talk about what is happening in Marion County, whether you're trying to move to Ocala, Bellevue, Denellen, anywhere in Marion County, Florida. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about inventory levels going up. We're going to talk about if it's more affordable, less affordable, what are the opportunities. We're going to talk about days on market. We're going to talk about a lot of those things that we're seeing. So a lot of the things that we're seeing right now is very typical of almost everywhere around the country, right? Like I am a coach and I'm also a broker here at Realty Executives. One of our offices is here in Ocala, located on Silver Springs Boulevard. Come say hi to us, 1008 East Silver Springs Boulevard. And if you have a rental need or any kind of real estate need, sales or buying, let us know. Of course, you can also look at buymidflhomes.com if you're just curious about what's going on in the market. And that's a thing. If you like what you're seeing on this video, please smash the like button, and please also subscribe so you can actually be notified whenever we're doing an update on what's going on in the market. So if you're planning on buying something here in Ocala, in the Marion County area, this is what we're doing. We're giving people updates on what's going on. So what is going on? First of all, we've seen an uptick in inventory. If you've been watching my videos, last couple of years, we've seen a big sharp decrease in inventory, which means prices have gone up. Now we're seeing inventory rise. And now, obviously, I think we're seeing a settling down in pricing. I think there's a real opportunity in buying right now. I think we're going to talk about that. If you're motivated, if you don't have to buy, you're thinking about buying in a couple of years, maybe you're going to wait a little bit. I think that might be okay. If you're planning on buying in the next 3 to 5 months and you want to buy something before spring of next year and you're not sure if it's now or wait till the end of the year, now's a great time to do it. And the reason being is that we're seeing less demand. Less demand means that you have the option of competing with less people. So days on market has picked up. That meaning homes are staying on the market a little bit longer, which is a little bit more normal. So it's not panic time. We're just seeing more days on market, which means we're heading back to more of the 60, 90 days on the market. Things are taking longer, where average days on market might have been 3 or 4 days. And those days are over because the peak of our marketplace was about the beginning of March. What we're seeing right now is over 1,700 homes on the market. That's actually double for what we saw back in March. So we've seen an increase of 800 homes. And that is very, very interesting because, normally you see about 3,000 plus, but this is a much larger number than what we've seen in the past. And I think that's a real opportunity for buyers. So as you're seeing here, I'm actually showing you all the properties that are on the market right now, the affordability factor. So back in the day, back in like 2002, 3, you can easily find a home that was under $80,000. Now there's literally mobile homes, a few in the very, very rural areas in the northeast part of Marion County, in the Fort McCoy area, that are under 100,000 but very small. And we've got 25 of them that are 80,000 and below. So that tells you about that. But let's take a look at maybe the affordable range right now seems to be more of the 200 to 250 range. That's the new 80 to 120 from 20 years ago, right? Like that's the new number. Like prices have gone up that much, and I think that's probably going to be pretty normal. But we're starting to see some price reductions go on in the Marion County area to make things a little bit more affordable. We're seeing there's a few retirement places that you can find something, like Pine Run under 200,000. Some condos as well. If you're interested in a condo, you can get something pretty good from about 115, 120 to about 200,000. And then, if we look at let's look at some affordable places still. Now we're looking at about the 200,000 mark. 200 to 225. We're starting to see a few properties that you can get into the 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in, kind of the typical areas around Marion County, right? So, looking at let's see, 230, Let me move up. Let me start finding some retirement communities as well popping up on top of the world. Spruce Creek, Silver Spring Shores, 245 for a 1,500 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. On top of the world at 245. And there's a few properties here and there that you can find for like 250 to 275, but still prices have really still maintained, right? Still have maintained price integrity for for a lot of people, like a lot of the equity that was gained over the last couple of years. So if you're thinking about selling, probably a really good time to sell, because it'd be a good time to sell during the just off the peak of the marketplace, which was in March. Now, for people that are thinking about waiting, that's a thing too. Like days on market has grown, inventory has grown, but one thing I've noticed is some people are thinking, let me wait, because they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. They're waiting for the bottom because I think things are going to drop. And what I'm encouraging people to do, I'm encouraging sellers to actually, look, if you're not desperate, then, hold on to your price. If you want to move, within a 30 to 45 day period, you want to get it sold, then you better price aggressively and pay attention to the real active comps out there. From the buyer standpoint, some of you might be thinking, let me wait, because I think it's going to drop some. I would encourage you to act now, and not necessarily, maybe you're not going to pay full price, maybe you're going to negotiate a little bit. And I think that's important that you connect with an agent and a realtor that's going to understand the market and help navigate that for you, either on the buyer side or the seller side. But from the buyer standpoint, it makes sense to actually act now because you're seeing less competition. So you can actually negotiate, and you might get some things. So what I mean by that is, okay, let's look at prior to 2020. The typical buyer would walk in, maybe FHA or VA financing, and maybe conventional, and say, okay, I have some money, but I'd like for the seller, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, pay for some of my closing costs and prepaids. That was not a thing, hardly a thing, actually. Very, very, very rarely did that happen the last couple of years, but that used to be very normal. Well, you can have that happen. You may not see, and you probably won't see, multiple offers. You might see it, but you have a chance of not seeing multiple offers and a lot of competition, meaning you can negotiate like a normal real estate transaction, like the way we used to see it forever. The last couple of years was kind of an abnormality. So I think that's the opportunity. So if you're looking, look for the right home, pick the right home. You can shop with comfort and not be so stressed about, oh my gosh, there's 5 other people walking into the house typically, although that could happen with certain properties. But I think that's the opportunity right now from the buyer standpoint. So I think if you're looking at choosing a solid realtor, I think the first thing you've got to do is pick somebody that's going to understand the marketplace. If you have questions about any of this, about the numbers we've talked about, that's the reason to subscribe to this channel, because I'm really talking about the inner workings of the market, because I've been in this market since 2000. I understand it really, really well. So if you have questions, you can connect with me at 352-572-3796. You can leave something here in the chat if you have questions as well. And as always, hope everybody has a fabulous weekend, and we'll see each other real soon.